Welcome, Joe Hildebrand, to episode 2.
We made it.
We actually did.
Incredible.
I thought by saying no one likes Iran and stuff last week that we might get cancelled. But welcome to the second episode of For the Record. I'm Tim Blackwell, and every week we're going to be asking you, Joe Hildebrand, the questions.
Yes.
4 big questions.
4 big questions for the record.
About the news of the world.
News of the world. Great newspaper, incidentally. Sad to see it go.
News of the world?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Is that what World Series baseball was named after? I'm being serious.
Yeah, that's exactly.
It was named after a newspaper.
It was named after a newspaper.
Because everyone likes to go, it's not
because there is no World Series. That's right. It's just America.
Yeah, right. There you go. End of episode 2. See you later.
Yeah. Glad we got that sorted.
Now, I had all these kind of grandiose ideas, like where do we go next? You know, like do we talk about social media for 16-year-olds and all that stuff?
Or budget repair.
Or you're at a beautiful New South
Bond
Wales
yields.
Budget dinner last
Fiscal
night.
rectitude.
But no, it's World War III.
It's World War III again.
Part 2.
It's World War III again.
So let's talk about the US bombing Iran. And question number 1 for you. How significant was this intervention?
It was well. It depends who you ask, because there's just been a report came out of the Pentagon that was leaked conveniently to CNN and the New York Times, who are not known for being pro Donald Trump, and it says it's only set Iran's nuclear program back by a few months.
Is that right?
Well, no, it's not, according to Donald Trump. And he is very, very cross at this. He says fake news. It's fake news. It's CNN, but they're fake news again. So Trump and the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, say that they've absolutely obliterated Iran's nuclear program. As soon as it happened, there was a ceasefire. As soon as the ceasefire was announced, it was broken by both Iran and Israel, but we'll get to that later on. And Iran and the US are now in negotiations about its nuclear program, about Iran's nuclear program. So it seems to have achieved all of its objectives, assuming that this report is written by some churlish anti-Trump spy, and the intelligence agencies and Donald Trump are not really the best of friends. They haven't got a good history.
Intelligence
and Donald Trump are not particularly. And even then, there's that internal caveat. So this was just based on basically looking at the damage, right? This intelligence report.
Have we seen any damage?
No, because it's all underground.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. We are really just taking everyone's word.
Just assume, that's right. And you can't actually, unless anyone who's going to show you the damage is either the Iranian government, who is telling its own citizens that nothing happened. Yeah. Everything's fine, guys. Don't know what you're talking about. So that's all fine.
Because I'm 43. I'm still in the pics to prove it era. I'm kind of like, can you show me?
That's right. So if it's not the Iranians who are actually like the Pentagon saying nothing happened, it's all fine. Sweet guys, business as usual. Yeah. And other than that, it's obviously the Americans who want to say that, it's completely and utterly obliterated. There is nothing left, which I would think it probably is. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why. Firstly, I suppose there's Donald Rumsfeld used to say the known knowns and the known unknowns and the unknown knowns and the unknown unknowns. So the unknown unknown is all the secret nuclear stuff that Iran's doing that we just don't know about. But all the stuff...
Which they're very good at keeping things unknown, Iran, I've noticed. Yeah. Especially in the last few weeks, because I haven't really known much about Iran.
No, that's right. No one knew anything about it.
And I continue to not know much about Iran.
That's right. Although that could also be because it is just a completely backward hermit state. It's a theocracy run by people who think that the end times are coming and that there's going to be the return of this great prophet who's going to have a big, giant war with good and evil, and all Iran's enemies will be smitten and smote and blown to smithereens and wiped off the face of the earth, and then the chosen ones go to heaven. That is not the kind of mindset you want someone to have when they have a nuclear bomb.
They have a countdown clock, right? In the center of town.
Yep.
And for the end of Israel?
Yeah, that's right. It's Palestine Square, I believe it is. And it's basically the end of Palestine. That was one of the targets that Israel knocked out. Okay, cool. So it's not there anymore.
Okay, good. Okay, I have another question for you because this leads us into a grab. I have a grab for you. Is it wrong to love the out of this?
Basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing.
Oh, that's so
I loved
good.
It so much.
It's the best, isn't it?
And I know I probably shouldn't.
Everyone's
no, you should. I should? Okay, why should I?
This is Trump doing what Trump does best. This is Trump being who and what he was made to be, which is the everyman guy who just looks at this situation and says, quite literally, what the f*** is going on?
Yes.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, I've just come in. So this is just...
And quite the mic drop moment too. About to walk onto a plane from a helicopter.
That's right. He loves that.
Onto
Yeah.
a plane.
Yeah, that's exactly...
Okay.
That's exactly right. So Trump loves doing stuff in front of the helicopter, in front of Marine One on the White House lawn,
Yeah.
where it's like, yep, I'm off into action. I'm springing into action. Going to go, blow up another country now, and you're welcome, world. And it also means that he can run off and pretend he doesn't hear questions he doesn't like, or he can pretend he's running late. And so he says, oh, yeah, I got to go and save the world, guys. Love to talk about the budget, but,
Yeah.
But yes, that is exactly what he should be doing and should be saying. Because in this conflict, you've got two sides who are completely intractable, right? They will never, ever see eye to eye. They have completely different views of history. Like literally the entire history of the world, they do not have a point of common agreement. They think... again, we've got Iran, which thinks that this Shia Islamic Messiah is going to come back and sort them. Israel obviously thinks a Jewish Messiah is going to come back. We sent the last one. They didn't think he was legit. So
they didn't.
Whatever, fair play. But you get all these arguments, and that's obviously just the religious stuff. But the history, people argue over whether Israel, it's 1948, that wasn't fair, or it was the Balfour Declaration before that wasn't fair, or the boundaries aren't fair because they don't, the borders are drawn wrong, or it was the 1967 Six-Day War, or it was the Yom Kippur War, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, you took this, no, you took that, but you took it first. No, it was the Romans. The Romans came in and, 70 AD, and they exiled all the Jews and leveled Jerusalem, and, so it was ours first 2,000 years ago. So, again, when do you go back, right? You can't fight modern wars to fix history. Like, that is just one of my golden rules. And so Trump has come in, right? He's done what Netanyahu wanted him to do, bring out the bunker busters, blow up Iran's nuclear capability. It's done. Iran has obviously shut itself and said, right, okay, hands in the air, ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. And as soon as that happens, Iran sends some pissy little missile into northern Israel, I think it was. I think they actually shot it out of the sky, so it didn't even make landfall.
Which I didn't really know until all this you could really do. Everyone's like, oh, someone's bombed someone, but it's been intercepted. I'm like, since when's that been a thing?
I know, this is something Israel's got called the Iron Dome.
Yeah.
And so they've had this for ages.
There's a real waste now launching a missile.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's just going to be intercepted 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, that's what happens. So the way Iran gets its missiles through is to just launch a bazillion of them.
Yeah.
So we're just going to launch 1,000 missiles and maybe 10 will get through.
Yeah,
or whatever.
right.
Just random number plucked out of my... But anyway.
Yeah.
And so this missile is shot down, right? Doesn't even make it. But Israel almost has to overreact to everything because it's so small, so outnumbered, so outgunned. It's completely surrounded by people who historically have not wanted it to be there, to put it mildly.
Yep.
It's got to do that real sort of, you break my little finger, I'll break your head. You bring a knife, I'll bring a gun. And so, again, we saw that after October 7. And so Israel says, oh, you just broke the ceasefire with that little missile we shot down? Fine. And they send over a whole bunch of planes to bomb the bejesus out of Iran again. And that's when Donald Trump loses it. And it's like angry dad coming home. So what? So he started, Dad. He hit me. No, she called me names. It's like, I don't care. Just shut up, both of you. Stop
100%.
it.
It's also, this podcast was supposed to simplify the news in 15 minutes. He's done it in 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
2 countries that don't know what the fuck.
This is what everyone, and again, this is, like, say what you like about Donald Trump. This is Donald Trump being good. This is the first good thing that he's done. He's brought the ceasefire in. He's blown up Iran's nuclear capability. This is when everyone should be on his side. And then he's just said, all right, what the fuck are you guys doing? Seriously.
If only everybody took a leaf out of his book.
Yes, we. It's our opportunity. Yes, we.
Or maybe...
Deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a...
I mean, maybe. One more.
We shall on the beaches. We shall on the landing grounds. We shall in the fields. We shall in the hills.
This has an impact.
Can you see it like World War II would have been over in 1939? It would have been like, yep, you're right.
All right.
9?
Question number 3. Can we be sure... I mean, I think you might have answered this, but can we really be sure that Iran has no more nukes?
No.
Okay, cool. Question number 4. You might have already answered it. But did the US finish the job? Or, I mean, I guess more importantly with this question, have the US just shit-stirred a bit too much here? Because I have heard, and this question is not very articulate, but are we looking at potential more attacks, September 11 style things potentially on the horizon?
Not really.
Based on this intervention by the US.
I don't think so, because the Ayatollah, of course, as soon as Trump does it, right, and he wipes out all their nuclear facilities, or not, but it looks like them. Look at the way Iran responded. Firstly, they go, don't worry, Iranians, nothing's happened. It's all American lies. It's Satan. And also, even though nothing happens, you're going to pay for this terrible attack on our soil, and we're going to kill you, and we're going to send our agents all over the world to attack you, and we're going to attack all your bases in the surrounding Arab states. So they attack an airbase in Qatar, and again, all the Arab states surrounding Iran are Sunni Islam, and Iran's Shia. So Iran is very much the outlier, and all the other Arab states hate it, as discussed on episode 1.
Yeah,
everybody
right.
hates Iran.
Everyone hates Iran.
Including the Iranians. They hate their own government.
That should have been the name of episode 1. Everyone hates Iran.
And so they attack this airbase, this military base in Qatar, right? And the Iranians say to Qatar, this is not an attack against you. This is an attack against the Americans. The Qatari government says, beg to disagree. We actually do see this as an attack of us, and we hate you because everyone hates Iran.
Yeah.
And the Americans say, what are you doing? And so the Iranians, get up and say, we have struck at the heart of the infidel. We have bombed their planes. We have bombed their, infidel soldiers and blah, blah. And the Qataris and the Americans say, there was a attempted strike on the airbase. No damage was done. There were 0 casualties. And next thing you know, Iran is coming back to the table. It's immediately agrees to a ceasefire and it's back in talks with the US about actually what its nuclear program is allowed to do or not do. Now, that doesn't seem to me a regime that is hell-bent on destruction, revenge, that is only suffered a flesh wound and is prepared to rise like a tiger and crush its enemies. Like, this is a regime that is just folded like a house of cards. All right, ceasefire. Yep, okay, here's our nuclear program. We'll do whatever you want.
So you're potentially saying that episode 3 is not going to be World War III Part 3?
Wow.
That's a forward tease.
It's disappointing because it could be a slow news week, but it is possible that we may still be alive and we may not be just radioactive wraiths in a post-nuclear apocalypse.
Final word goes to George W. Bush.
There's an old saying in Tennessee that says, "F me once, shame on you."
See you next week.
I love your work.